Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Kemi, and I'm here to talk about Beyond the Gates Week 8. Before we begin, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you can get more content from me. So this was a cute little 1-2, it was a cute week. Not a lot happened, just enough to move the story along. So we start the week off with Kat's birthday, and in this episode, we get to see that it's Kat's birthday, and we also see that it's Ava's early birthday, or so that's what Wig says. So we don't know when her actual birthday is. And from the way things are looking, it looks like she may be Nicole and Ted's child, like Kat and Eva may be twins, but I'm like, I kind of see it, but then I kind of don't. It also could be that they were switched at birth, which would be crazy. Like if they literally were switched at birth and Ava took Eva, but Kat is really her daughter. But it's like, I don't know about that one either. But the only reason why I'm saying I think it could be either a switched at birth or a twins thing is because, again, it's her early birthday. So her birthday is around the same time as Kat's. And then also in this episode, Nicole talks about the struggles and the issues that she was having to have Kat. Like after she had Martin, it was like they were good, and then they wanted another baby, but she had so many miscarriages and so many different things like were happening. And then of course it was like she she kept having miscarriages. So that's when Ted stepped out on her. So we don't know, because they've never really said that she gave birth. They just keep saying she had Kat. So we don't know if it was like a surrogacy thing or if she actually was pregnant and gave birth to Kat. We don't know. And so another reason why I'm like, I don't know if it is like she had twins and didn't know, is because if she was like, with her having all those miscarriages, there's no way that I think that she would not know everything about the pregnancy. Like if she was she probably had a bunch of appointments leading up to the birth. So I'm pretty sure, unless it was like a surprise, a surprise baby that no one saw until it was time to give birth, or if again it was a surrogate. So if the surrogate didn't know or was in on the plan, it's like a whole bunch of stuff that could happen. So you really never know how that's gonna go. So that's why it's just like, I kind of want them to be twins, because I feel like that's another level of like rivalry that Kat and Eva's gonna have, because it's just like, I don't like you because I feel like you're doing something, and now I come to find out that you're my sister. And then of course Nicole and Ted are going to be like, oh my god, I have to take up for lost time. So they're going to spend so much time with Ava. So it's going to be like, that's another reason why Kat's going to hate her. So I'm kind of hoping that's where they go, but you never really know. But I really don't think Eva is her mom. I mean, I don't think Leslie Dana Wiggs, whatever her name is, I don't think that's Eva's mom. And if that is her mom, I don't think Ted is the dad, because she's doing a little too much for a hit it and quit it situation. It's just too much. So that was Monday's episode, and that was the only time that we saw Ava and not Nicole, but Ava and Wig. That's all. That was the only day that we saw them this week, which was a bummer, because I'm starting to like Wig. She crazy, and I kind of like her. So I can't wait to see what's gonna happen, because it's about to hit the fan. I think this week is when they're gonna have the anniversary party. If not this week, the following week. So that's when everything is about to hit the fan. So I really can't wait. So the other thing that happened this week is Naomi. She spent all week talking about this case. She decides to drop the case on Monday and then continues to talk about the case all week, which is so annoying. But because it's like, them girls are stupid. You tripping, talking about this the whole time. She's really wanting to rebuild her relationship with Bill. And I'm like, if it was me and the way that he did my mama, I'm not rebuilding nothing with you. Like, it's gonna take me a while before I rebuild anything with you, because if I'm not mistaken, it's like you cheated on my mama, and then in 6 months is when the divorce is final, and that's when you get married again. So it's like, it's only been like if I'm not mistaken, it's only been 6 months since everything has happened. So it's like 6 months is not enough time for me to be okay with what you did. And then the fact that you're still with this woman, you married her, so I'm gonna have to see you with her. Like, that's a constant reminder of what you did to my mom. And I don't know if 6 months is enough time for me to get over it. Like, she's not over it, but Bill is like, he's doing little things that's making it like, he's like, he's I feel like he's playing her. Like, I feel like he's really playing her so that she will like come back into the fold, because he's Bill's an ass. Like, at the end of the day, he's an ass, and they're all gonna find out, like, either way it goes. And I especially can't wait till Haley finds out. So back to that. So she drops the case. She lets her dad know she drops the case. Then the girls come back, the ladies come back to her and was just like, okay, we're going to settle, but we want you to be the one to settle it. And we want X, Y, and Z. And you're the only way that we can get it. So she takes back on the case just to give the settlement information to her dad, which she does. And he does agree to the settlement. So that's the end of the case. Thank goodness. Bill decides to fire Mike, which he should have been did, because based on all the conversations that they had within that episode when he was firing him, Mike he's been just a ugh to everybody, not just the people in the office, but to the people in the courthouses, the clerks at the courthouses, other lawyers. Like, he's a liability. And Bill, I don't know why he kept that man on for so long, but he did. And it's just like, why? Like, so Mike decides to tell him about himself, like, you know better than me, because you slept with your subordinate and then you married her and then you promoted her to a position that she has no she don't know nothing. There's no reason why she should have been promoted over anybody else, but you promoted her because you were sleeping with her. So you're no better than me. And he decides to, like, low key disrespect Naomi. So, Bill had to hem him up. It was just like, if you try me if you want to. Try me if you want to. So Mike is fired, so he gone. I don't know if that's the last that we see of him. Like, he could come back, like, like a scorned lover, but you never know. But so he's gone. So this whole situation, I think we're done with that story, and I'm okay with that, because it was anyway. So we also see Haley this week, and she decides to come to Bill and tell him that she thinks she's pregnant. And the way Bill reacted is just like, yeah, he don't want no more kids. Like, he was done. He had his two and he's done. And then Haley is just like, woe is me, yes, I kind of want, me and Naomi, we dreamt about days like this, and da 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 da, and her, her baby soft voice and all this other stuff. And it's just like, maybe it's a boy, can you imagine a boy carrying on your legacy? And that's when Bill is just like, ooh, okay, maybe. So now he's a little bit hyped at the possibility of him maybe having a boy, which I hope I hope she doesn't have a baby. I don't need her to have a baby, especially not right now. There's no need for them to have a baby, but okay. So they decide to celebrate, and she goes to the club, and Bill is going to meet her there. So, she's at the club, and the wait staff still ain't, they have nothing for her. She's like, hey, excuse me. And they're just walking by her like, and Danny has come to the club, and this is after she'd been trying to drink all day long, but everybody kept interrupting her. This was Monday, so her dad interrupted her, and then her best friend interrupted her the next day when she was trying to get her drink on. Oh no, I apologize. She did get her drink on the the day of the party. So after she leaves the party, she does get her drink on, and she gets drunk. She calls, and why am I messing up his name? Andrew. She calls, that's not his name. His name is Andre. I'm still learning these people's names. I just remembered Naomi's husband's name this week, Jacob, because he was on, so that's why I got his name. But anyway, so she calls Andre. He comes over there and she's, plastered out on the floor. So he takes care of her. Then he stays with her for a little bit. And then once he sees that she's good to go, he's getting ready to leave. And she wakes back up and she's just like, no, 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 wait, wait, wait. I called you over so I could show you. So she does her little model strut. And then, they sleep together or whatever. So the next day, after they slept together, did whatever they did, he tells her, like, you got to stop, like, you really have to stop because you're better than this. Like, he tells her, like, you're better than this. Like, Bill was stupid. Like, be the woman that you are, boss up. Like, you that girl, like, you are that girl. Stop doing this over Bill. So we see that she's like, she takes it in. So it's just like, maybe she's learning, maybe she's about to get to a better place. And then at the end of the week, she still tries to get a drink, but of course that's when everyone's interrupting her again. So after Andre done told her, like, gave her that good pep talk, her best friend comes over and she's just like, we need to get you out and get you back into who Danny is. Like, we need to figure out something to get you to be that girl again. So they decide to go to the club, and this is where, when she's at the club, she runs into Haley. So she sits with Haley, and she gives her, like, she tells her the truth. Like, she tells her, like, be careful, because this, like, not she didn't tell him the same she didn't tell her the same way that you got him is the same way that you lose him. She basically tells her that don't lose yourself in him like I did, because I lost myself in him, that I became his everything until he had no need for me anymore, and now I'm just here. I don't know what else to do. I don't know. Like, I need to find myself again because I was so lost in him. And Haley is just like, that's not going to happen to me. That's not going to happen to me. And it's just like, Haley, you're stupid. You are completely stupid. It will happen to you just like it happened to her. Like, just like when y'all got back from y'all's, if I'm not mistaken, when y'all got back from your honeymoon, he asked you to quit your job. Like, he wants you to quit your job. He wants you to be a stay-at-home wife. He doesn't want you to be independent. He wants you to be at his beck and call, so that when you'll have no identity, just like he did to Danny. Like, that's what he wants. And he's slowly going to get that from you, especially if you're pregnant. He's going to get it so that you're not working. And then on top of the fact that you work for him, he can easily get you to stop working. And you're not listening to Danny because you feel like, oh, he's not going to be the way that he was to you, to me. And it's just like, he will probably be 10 times worse. Like, probably 10 times worse, because you're just you're the shiny object. And when you get older, and or even when, who knows, like, Bill is an ass, so he's gonna probably start cheating on you soon. Like, that's just how it is. But she don't want to listen, so you just gonna have to learn. Like, you gonna have to learn like Danny had to learn. And that's where we at with that. So Danny is just like, you know what, wait, Steph, y'all can wait on her. So now she's finally able to order her meal at the club, after Danny let it happen. So, like Danny said last episode, like last time, when you tried to come to her and was just like, oh, you're no better than me. No, she is better than you. She's always better than you. She is a Dupree. You are trying to get to where she's at, and you will never be there because you married Bill. That is not the Duprees. And Danny is the one who let it be known so that you could be able to order food at the club. So Don't get it twisted. You are not better than Danny, and you probably never will. So we also see Martin and the family this week. So Martin and Smitty find out what's been happening to Tyrell, which is being he's being cyberbullied, and he's been handling it the way that he's been handling it, and it's like in this moment I get it from both sides. Like I understand where Tyrell is coming from, and then I also understand where Martin is coming from. And I just feel like Martin is going about it like all kinds of wrong. Like he's not listening. It's like his way or the highway. And it's just like they he like Tyrell asked you not to go to the principal. Your husband, Smitty's like, let's discuss this, and you just leave the house and go to the principal without even discussing it with your husband. You just did what you want to do. And it's like, I'm I'm that like I don't know what it is with Martin. It's like he's so condescending and he's so and it's just too much with him sometimes. But again, like I said, I understand where he's coming from because it's like you said you're handling it, but you're still being cyberbullied. And it's like cyberbullying is like I don't think that kids should be able to handle I don't think kids are can handle that on their own. Like I don't know. It's like I really don't know because it's like I don't know what I would do if I was in that position because I feel like I would probably be a Martin. Like I'm raising all kinds of hell if somebody would cyberbully my kid. Like I'm raising all kinds of hell. Like I'm going to the principal. I'm looking for the students. I'm looking for their parents. Like I'm raising hell if that were to happen. But again, he's going about it all wrong. And they discuss, and then they come to a semi like they come to a understanding, and it was like okay, like Tyrell said, like you when you were younger you were gay, so you went through some of this and you had to hold your head high and get through it and let the people know that they are not going to deter you, just like he's trying to do. So what your son is going through, so the fact that you aren't letting him learn how to be that strong person like you were is what is making me be like a little bit more on Tyrell's side. But I understand where both of them are coming from. So by the end of the week, they've decided that because after Tyrell stormed out the house, he goes to Orphe Jeans. While he's at Orphe Jeans, he sees Jessica. So we have a new teen person on the scene. So I guess this is going to be his crush. So this is Jessica is the girl that was sent the video from, or the picture from Tyrell's phone, and her boyfriend is the one who like sucker punched Tyrell. So that was the guy. So she's broken up with him, and so now she's flirting with Tyrell. So it's just like, ooh, okay, we got a little new teen scene romance on the scene, so we'll see where that's gonna go. And so she like she pumped him up, like let him know that he's strong, and she admires him because he don't care. So while he's having that discussion, Martin and Smitty are at the house, and they're just like, maybe we need to take them out to school and put them into private school, which from jump, I don't understand why they weren't in private school from beginning. Like, one, they are Duprees, they are congressmen children, like they are of upper echelon. Like they should have been in a private school from jump. I don't know why you put them in a public school. So again, it's like I'm a little confused on that because I feel like the way they said it was they were in private school and they took them out of private school to put them in public school, or they were in public school and they didn't want to take them out of public school because that's where they've been this whole time. So they just wanted to, because again, they adopted them. So they wanted to keep them normal as possible. So I think that's what it is. But either way it goes, I feel like they should have been in private school because, again, they're of upper echelon. There's no need for them to be in public school, especially with the type of people that they are. Like they live in the gates. Like they should be in private school. But anyway, so at the end of the week, they come to Tyrell and let him know, hey, we're gonna take you out of the school. And he's just like, no, 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 I'm good. I'm gonna be good because he got that little pet talk from Jessica. So he's good with being in the he's good with being in the public school so that he could be with Jessica. So we'll see where that goes. We also see Samantha, Kat, and Chelsea this week. Samantha, she comes to Chelsea and Kat to let them know this is what she wants. She wants to be a model, and there's nothing that her parents can tell her. So she's gonna do this. So Chelsea and Kat, they're just like, okay, we'll start you off slow. So basically, from the way they made it, the way they talked about it and everything, is just like she's gonna become an influencer, which makes sense because it's just like in the day and age that we are in, like an influencer can lead you up to a model. So like we'll put you on our page, you can model our products, you can do like the viral dances and do all of that, and like you'll just influence people to get it, and then we'll work you up to being a model, which makes sense. So that's fine. Kat also tries to get Chelsea to bring Danny on as a marketer for the company, and Chelsea is just like, I worked with her before. I'm not trying to do it again. So, not about that life. So we'll see if she's changed her mind, because I think by the end of the week she was coming around to it, but we'll see if that happens, because Danny also, with her best friend Pamela, they've decided to, or at least Pamela is trying to get Danny to open up a modeling agency, which is smart. I that's what I thought from beginning. Like after when she was like, Chelsea was like, I don't want to model anymore. Woo doo doo woo, and it's all this other stuff. It was just like, well, you can open up a modeling agency. I think that would have been a good idea. And that way she could have also taken Samantha on, like, as one of her first clients. Like, so because she did it for her daughter, she can do it for others. So that makes sense. Like, I think that's a good idea for Danny, something that she can embrace and work, and she can do it well because she did it for her daughter. So hopefully we're going down that route. We'll see. What else happened this week? Oh, we saw Vanessa. We're gonna get to this because this makes no sense to me. So Vanessa continues to play in Nicole's face, Diego's face, and our faces behind her feelings for Joey, because she is really liking Joey. She's don't make no sense, but yes, she is liking Joey. And she, again, she playing in Diego's face because Diego is like trying to be like, oh, I'm the only one for you, and this is his name. It's just like, you're a jump off. Like, you're one of many. And if I want to add another one to my roster, I'm going to add another one to my roster, and there's nothing you can do about it. So she's like slowly trying to put Diego in his place, and I don't know if he's getting a hit, but we shall see. She does go to the hospital to see her husband because they were supposed to have a lunch date. And Doug has been working nonstop because he's like, he doesn't want to gamble. So the only way that he can stop gambling is by working nonstop. So it's just like, you went from one addiction to another addiction, basically. You don't want to get help for your gambling. So instead of gambling, I'm going to keep my hands busy doing surgery. And it's like, again, one addiction to another, which you should not be doing. You need to go get help for that gambling addiction so that you can be a functioning person. But again, he don't want to. So he is working nonstop. Our favorite nurse, Shanice, is like, sir, you're working nonstop. Like, you need to slow down. Like, even the best of them can get burnt out, and you're about to get burnt out. And by the end of the week, he gets burnt out. But I digress. So yeah, so Vanessa comes to the hospital to, meet her husband so that they can go out to eat, and he's in a surgery. So Shanice, she voices her concerns to to Vanessa. I'm sorry. She voices her concerns to Vanessa and lets her know, like, he's been working nonstop. Is everything okay? Like, so Vanessa's like, okay, she's thinking about it. So she has a talk with Doug, and this lady had the nerve to ask this man if he was stepping out or if he wanted something else. I was just like, now, Vanessa, you the one that's stepping out. What you mean? Does he want somebody else or is he stepping out? Like, girl, stop it. Like, why are you playing in our faces? Like, why are you playing in his face? Like, stop. But he eases her concerns and is just like, no, it's not that. I'm still very much in love with you, X, Y, and Z. So it's just like, okay. So she feels a little bit better about it. They don't get to go out because he has, again, his schedule is booked solid with surgery, so he has to go to another surgery. So by the end of the week, he loses a patient, and so as he's lost this patient, he's like really upset about it because at the beginning of that episode, he was like making bets with the nurses, like, oh, I can make this shot. I'm on a lucky streak. He had won like $4 and all this other stuff. So it's just like, you still gambling, sir. Stop it. It may not be big stakes, but you still gambling. So it's like, whatever. So he loses a patient and then he hits his hand. So he fractures his hand and he can no longer do surgery for a couple of weeks, probably 6 weeks. You know how it happens, like when you break your hand or fracture or whatever, you have to be off of that stuff. So as he's getting the information, Joey walks in and Joey's just like, hey, my favorite loser, like my favorite gambler, where have you been? Like, so that's how the week ends off with them. We also find out because Doug's homeboy Randy, he works for Joey, and Joey keeps trying to talk him into getting Doug to come back to the table. And so, Randy tries to, but not really, because he's just like, he don't want his friend caught up like that. And Doug is telling him like, yeah, no, we can't do it. Can't do it. I'm good or whatever. That's what he's been telling him all week. And then at the end of the week, Randy gets threatened by Joey, and he's just like, I'm not gonna hurt you, but how's your ex and your child doing? Like, they good? So it's just like Randy's just like, oh no, you got to come back in, Doug. Like, you got to come back in because I'm not about to put my family in danger because of whatever. But we also find out why Joey is trying to get Doug in his debt, which when I like I said on Twitter, it doesn't make sense, because it's like the reason why he wants to get Doug in his debt is because he wants to run, he wants to clean his money through Vanessa's real estate agency, because Vanessa told him that she rakes in a bunch of money and all this other stuff. And I was like, she can rake in a bunch of money, but like, there's no guarantee with real estate like that. Like, it's not all the time that you're bringing in money like that, because the market can crash and you can stop. Like, it didn't make sense to me. And I was just like, hopefully they explain it a little more. Like, there's a reason why it's just like, yeah, she's like the one because she is making the money. Because in my head, I'm just like, in real estate, you never know, because again, the market can crash. Um, you won't be selling, so your commission, like, I don't know, it just like that didn't make sense to me. So that's why I was just like, I'm confused. So hopefully we get more information, or they make it make sense to me, because I'm just like, I feel like he could clean his money like in different ways. Like, he could, like, I don't know, like a gas station or like something where money is always coming in. So that way, when it's coming out, it can get, I guess that's how, I don't know how it works. I don't know how it works, but whatever. But yeah, so that was his reasoning for wanting Doug in his debt. Because he's just like, if I can get Doug in my debt, then I can get his wife. Like, I can have Doug like clean money through his, through that. So I'm just like, okay, I guess, but whatever. We also see Ashley and Derek, and like I said on Twitter, they are boring. So I don't have much for them. They're boring. They give nothing, like nothing at all. I wish it was a little bit more, like, because it's just like I don't see like it's just nothing with them. Like, I feel like if he were controlling, it would make sense to why she would have this inevitable affair with Andre, why she would be like drawn to Andre, because she's like in this relationship that's like, oh, it's not like what it seems like. I'm giving off this, oh, we have this perfect relationship, but it's not really perfect. Like, I feel like at the beginning we saw some type of controlling when he first met Andre, but then since then it's just been blah. Like, it's just been like it's too good to be true, but we're not seeing anything for us to know that it isn't true. So that's why it's just like they're just so boring. They're blah, but it is what it is. So that's how we ended the week. I forgot to talk about Naomi meeting up with Queen Anita, and Anita discussing her time being in the group and how she loved it and she missed it. And Naomi came up with a plan to get her grandma back on stage with her mom. So we should see that next week. It was a really cute scene, and you got to learn a little bit more about Anita. And I love that scene. This was again week 8 of the Gates. So we'll be back next week with some more Fairmont drama and business. And again, if not this week, next week, we're going to get the fallout of the Eva, Ted, and Nicole stories. So we'll see whose child she is, or if she isn't, or they'll probably push that out a little bit further to say like, okay, well, maybe she really is. We're gonna get that. We're gonna find out at least that Nicole is gonna find out that Ted cheated on her within the next week or two, and I cannot wait to see how that goes. So again, that's the week in Fairmont. So I'll actually be back to you later today. I'm going to go see Sinners. I'm going to give you guys a review on Sinners. I've heard good things about it, so we'll see what that's hitting for. But again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you can get more content from me on movies, TV shows, and all those things for reviews, recaps. And if you like what you see, I hope to see you again. Bye.